Hello Taurus, welcome to my channel, Love It or More. We're keeping this very simple this month. This is for your zodiac sign, sun, moon and rising of Taurus. And it is a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Keeping things nice and simple this month for July 2022, and we will be doing a Celtic cross. So just a couple of seconds, just to tune into the energy, just take a nice deep breath in. And exhale. All right, Taurus, what is coming up for you in July 2021? I'll be cutting the deck and I'll also be getting clarifiers. Current energy, the Empress, really nice. Nine of Swords crossing you. It's above you. Ten of Swords beneath you. King of Wands. Okay. Past, Seven of Cups. Immediate future, Nine of Swords. Attitude, Knight of Coins. Environment, Page of Wands. Hopes and fears, Knight of Wands, and the outcome, Six of Swords. Okay. That's a Six of Swords right there. Right, okay. In for a bit of a tricky month in July, but you're ending on a very strong position. We've got a lot of sword energy over here, meaning that you're quite caught up in the headspace, I have to say. We have a 10 and a 9 of swords, which is really jumping out at me because they're such dark cards. Okay. You, as the whole month unfolds, in the Empress energy is a very, very powerful position to be in, but I feel like you're just a bit tired. Now, the Empress is very creative, very nurturing, trying to bring new things into being, and she works with the heart space, okay? The more she gives you, the more she has to give. But we've got this obstacle here, which is this Nine of Wands. So it feels like you're either very close to the end of a project and you're just feeling completely worn out, or you're feeling like there is not enough time to get through everything, or it feels like every step you turn, you're kind of caught up by another obstacle, another hoop to jump through. Now in your past, you were kind of had quite a lot of options to think about. You see how all of those cups are surrounded by, she really looks confused there. Sometimes it can be a card of daydreaming and being kind of thinking about the future, wondering about the future, toying up different options. But then we have this very conscious in your headspace, this 10 of Swords. So something is definitely coming right to an end. Now we will clarify, but with the 10 of Swords, it really is the end of the end of the end. So 10 of Swords can sometimes feel like you've been backstabbed or been brought down to your knees. It is a card where something is dead, done, over with. And it doesn't matter how much of a heart tie you have to the situation, the logic of it, the understanding, the illumination and the thought patterns involved pretty much say it's done. Okay, so there's no turning around. That cycle has been completed. But in your subconscious mind, deep within, you're kind of starting to feel that this is the right way to go. Because with the King of Wands, he is all about kind of entrepreneurship, leadership, taking charge, standing in a very charismatic space, making things happen, planning for the future. You know, he's got that drive. He's really kind of feeling pulled forward. So deep down, you know that this Ten of Swords ending for you has to happen, because driving underneath it is this bubble, this burst kind of waiting to come out. Now, in the immediate future, the future of July, you're going to be sort of, I feel like, springboarding between this ending that has happened with this Ten of Swords and wanting to kind of charge forward with the King of Wands. But I feel like you just get a bit caught up in your head a bit too much. This feels to me very much caught up in the past energy, something that has gone on. Now we will clarify, don't worry. So again, it would be advisable to think of coping mechanisms, things to try and get you out of your head space, because it just feels very, you see how the swords are kind of almost driving towards him. They're kind of very straight and they start to turn towards him. And he's so worried that he's going to be stabbed. Fact of the matter is, you've already been stabbed. Okay, so when I say about that, it's like something that you've planned that hasn't gone according to plan, and there's no getting around it. There's no way out of it. You've got to just accept that that's over with. And this future energy of the Nine of Swords is just a case of kind of just the memory of this Ten of Swords. Okay, so it's almost like the deed is done, but you are still dealing with the residue of that. Now your attitude is a Knight of Coins, and the Knight of Coins is a very reliable card, very slow and steady, wins a race. So you're in the attitude of, okay, well, I'm going to try everything I can to just get through the day. I mean, I'm not saying that it's like a hugely difficult month for you, but it's going to be challenging. I mean, the fact that the only major arcana in this whole Celtic cross here is the Empress, which is you standing in a very, very powerful position. It feels like you can only handle all of these things because you're in the Empress energy. Okay, so that will override anything else. So part of the tactic, part of the coping mechanisms that that's going to be very helpful for you this month, is to really kind of ride the storm. And what I mean by that is make small little steps towards progress. Do the physical things that you need to do. Place your money into the right hands, into the right categories. Really kind of don't. I feel like deep down you're wanting to charge forward as this King of Wands with like vivacious va-va-voom. But it feels to me like what's going to be better suited for you is just to plod along, just take things slow this July, and just do what needs to be done on a very physical, methodical way. Around you, your environment is a Page of Wands, so it's almost like you're getting news of, it feels like news is coming your way that's going to kind of, because we've got these 3 Wands energies here, which is quite strong. I'm not so worried about this, because this is, again, something from the past, something that just needs to come to an end. It is a 9, so it talks about endings, right? I'm more interested in these 3 cards here. So it feels like you're getting some exciting news with regards to either a project or work situation. It's a really lovely news, and you're going to want to sort of charge forward with that strength. But the worry is that if you charge forward, you can't really tell what the outcome is going to be. It's too kind of new. It's too kind of it's a bit sort of scary. So it feels to me like the month of July, something is ending, a new opportunity is presented to you. You get this message, and it might be something that it could really bring out the King of Wands in you. And you're wanting to take that energy and charge forward, but you might still be caught up in the Nine of Swords, okay? So that's really because it's a hope and a fear. It's like, well, I know that I've got what it takes to make this happen, and I can go fast and furious and all excitable, but I've got to make sure that I don't end up in this position again. So that's a kind of, it's a toying backwards and forwards. By the end, the outcome of the whole month is a Six of Swords, and I really like that, because now you're finally getting out of your headspace. Now you're moving on to calmer waters, okay? She leaves, they leave turbulent waters and they move on to sort of calmer shores. They're towards this lovely, this, I don't know if you can see that properly, but there's an island in the distance. So July is going to be very mentally heavy for you. You will be moving out of that energy into more promising energy. And I do feel like it's coming from this new exciting news that is going to kind of lift your spirits, because you know that deep down you've got this King of Wands kind of energy bubbling. And you kind of want to make it happen, but you're still caught up in this past energy here. So let us clarify. Okay, Empress, please. Actually, Empress, please. High Priestess. Beautiful. Okay, so you really are working with, so the Empress, clarified by the High Priestess, I mean, those are two major arcanas. It's amazing. Basically, what that means is that you are really kind of working with the divine feminine energy. You really are working with, it's like you've mastered manifestation through the heart space, but you haven't quite recognized it yet. And you can't recognize it yet because you're still dealing with like old things coming to an end, right? Now, when we think about manifestation, we think about sending our energies out into the universe. There's always a lag, you know. We are on 3D, you know, in the physical realm with 3D, there's always a bit of a delay. So even though we might be harnessing all this amazing spiritual intuitive kind of knowing within ourselves and kind of working and playing with the energies, kind of really kind of being guided by our gut and by our intuition, we're still having to deal with trip-ups from the past, okay? So you're in a very powerful position. You know you can make things happen. You feel brewing underneath you with the Empress and the King of Wands. You feel that you're about to embark on something, an enormous creative venture, okay? It feels like it's something that is quite lucrative money-wise. It's a project, but it's something that's really, really you're excited about. And that's just sort of the things, the energies that you're picking up on. And then it's very easy to get into the headspace of the Nine of Swords, because you're like, well, I feel like I'm in that energy, but I'm still having to deal with this old stuff, okay? It just means, it's just because manifestation, there is a delay. So you have to close these things up. Now, you've got to bear in mind that 9 and the 10 are endings, okay? They're endings. So you're cleaning up shop to embrace this new way forward. You still sort of, it just feels like you're cleaning up, you're having a bit of a spring clean. You feels like you could also be removing people from your life that no longer serve. You're kind of doing the cull, you know. So it's cleaning up time in July. It's dealing with the residue. Nine of Wands. Ah, yes, you see. Yes, 5 of Pentacles. So the 9 of Wands, with clarified by the 5 of Pentacles, is this energy that you've been feeling about, this kind of wanting to create something new, feeling that, knowing that the King of Wands is kind of bubbling beneath you. The thing that's been sort of stopping you in your tracks is this difficulty with regards to either finance, or feeling like you don't, no one sees you for your true worth, okay? But that's just a mentality. Now, the 5 of Pentacles feels like she's been left out in the cold. They are, I mean, that person is crippled, he's disabled. She doesn't have enough clothes for a cold wintry night. There's snow on the floor, they're barefoot. These are all the things where you're still feeling quite, what's the word? Battered and bruised, emotionally, physically, maybe even health-wise. It has been a trial to get to this space, and you're still kind of, that's the thing that's sort of stopping you in your tracks a wee bit. That's the thing that's kind of still holding you back. But what I can tell you is this: you're at the 9 of Wands, okay? So you're near the end of that feeling kind of neglected, left out, abandoned, unworthy. You're near the end of that, okay? There was great lessons to be learned in that experience, but you're coming to the end, okay? So that is the thing that kind of steps in your way a wee bit with that beautiful Empress energy. Let's go to the Ten of Swords, please. Okay. Oh, well, of course it's a Ten of Swords clarified by the Ten of Swords. Oh, Ten of Wands, Ten of Wands. I see. Okay, so this could also be connected to that. Ten of Swords with the Ten of Wands. What did I say? Complete ending. It's an ending, ending, ending. You're near the end of it. Let's just get a little bit more. Can we get another one, please? I'll cut this time. Page of Cups. Okay, so this could be something whereby so this won't resonate with everyone, but for some of you this can be a situation where someone has offered the cup of love to you, and it sort of ended before it even began. Okay, perhaps you felt stabbed in the back, and you've just it's that difficulty of kind of trying to close things off and kind of just cut that tie. Okay, and you're very close to it because we've got 210, so obviously it's going to happen, but it's like you see something for how it truly is. A Page of Cups can also be a bearer of good news, so it could be a situation that's been causing you quite disruption, where you thought that something was going to lift your spirits. So it doesn't necessarily have to be on a romantic level, but it could be an offering. You were offered something that you thought was going to be either monetary because of the fish in the cup over there, something that was going to sort of set you up for a while, or a friendship or colleague, someone who really kind of made an offering to you, a lovely offering, and well, it didn't happen, or it ended before it began, or it just sort of it was, I wouldn't say treacherous or deceptive really, but it just didn't come through. It just didn't come through, and it's ending. It's not going to happen. Okay, it's ended before it even began. So it was like someone kind of dangled something in front of you, and you did everything you could to grasp hold of that. Thank you for the offer, but it didn't happen. Okay, so you're now having to deal with the residue of that. You're having to deal with the disappointment of that. You're having to deal with moving things around because you were counting on that and it didn't happen. Okay, so to really put you in the heavy head space. Let's go to King of Wands. Four of Wands. Okay, well, this is very easy. I mean, the King of Wands, that thing that kind of deep down you feel that there's a bubbling situation of how you want to kind of be a leader, be an entrepreneur, stand in your own power and move forward. I feel like you're doing two things here. Number one is, even though this is in your subconscious energy here, so you can kind of tap into it, you can tune into it with a High Priestess, but it feels like it's you've got that brewing in the background. But number one, you're not telling anyone about it. Okay, because this is your you feel like your cards are close to your chest. It's probably going to work in your favor. And number two, you need to save for it money wise. Okay, so in a way, you know that somewhere along the way you're kind of in the building blocks, you're kind of saving up, whether that's time, energy, money, resources, whatever that is, because you've got this, you feel like you've got this tug, this push to make a creation of some sort, something where you are in the lead. Okay, but you're having to kind of pull together your resources to do that first, and until you do so, you're not telling anyone about it. Okay, Seven of Cups, please. What are you confused about? Knight of Cups. Well, of course you were bloody confused about it. So this relates to the situation over here, this Page of Cups. This offering that was given to you, whether that be monetary, whether it be love, for many of you it's going to be love, whether it was going to be some sort of opportunity that was offered to you. It might, for those of you who were in the sort of love aspect of it, you were quite confused as to which way to go. Do I accept that? Can I go forward with that? It could also be of like, where's my heart pulling me to do? Okay, am I focusing on my pentacle, or am I focusing on my heart here? Okay, am I focusing on my mental state, or am I focusing on my heart? And you were kind of a little bit caught up in that. You were also trying to For others of you where it's obviously not related with romantic side, it is connected to this. So this is because of that offering that's been made to you, but you didn't know which way to go because it was a little bit fluid, a bit watery. So if something was offered, it didn't really stand the test of time. It wasn't really a pentacle. It wasn't really set in earth. It wasn't really kind of physical, that you're malleable. You know, it was a bit like water, meaning that was a bit too fluid, a bit too flowy, could easily slip out of your fingers. And because of that, you kind of didn't, you were trying to envisage a future within that offering, but it put you in it, all it did was it just made everything quite slippery instead. Okay, so you were kind of flowing in so many directions, you couldn't pull all that water into one cup for yourself. I hope that makes sense. It was very kind of metaphoric. Okay, Nine of Swords, please. Okay, King of Swords. Ah, right, King of Swords with the Nine of Swords. So there's perhaps a little bit of so the King of Swords is a court card. It usually refers to trying to be very clear with words, clear with your information, facts, figures, sometimes even cutting, being completely transparent to the point. Okay, so there's a couple of messages with this. With the Nine of Swords, part of the worry can be to do with answering to someone who is the King of Swords, okay? Especially if it's to do with the situation over here. I think the majority of you, it's basically a bit of advice saying when you're in the Nine of Swords energy, which is that anxiety, that panic, that those sleepless nights, all of these things about to do with having to understand that the past situation is over and done with. You didn't get that offering that you were kind of banking on, right? And now it's having to deal with, well, what are the systems, what can I do about it, who do I answer to, how can I take this forward? Even if it's in the workplace, it may be that you are a bit worried about a situation at work where someone perhaps offered to do a part of the project for you, and then they totally messed it up, and now you're having to deal with the mess because maybe they upped and left you, and now you have to speak to the boss. So this is both perhaps a situation of someone you need to answer to, but it does also tell me more so I'm feeling more so that it is advice, meaning get your facts together, pull all your details out in front of yourself, and double check all the details. Read the small print, go back on things, and it might be a little bit annoying because you really want to kind of get cracking with this new adventure, but this is throughout the whole of July. So in July, you're having to just kind of close things off. It feels very much kind of, I think we're actually in Mercury direct at the moment, but this feels to me like a Mercury retrograde where you're having to go back over something and just make sure that everything is evidence. You can present something, because I feel that if you do, that will take the worry out of it, and you will get the help that you need. Okay, you will get a valid response, a fair response. Okay. It could also be that if you're still worrying about the situation, if you've tried to sort of cut someone off, and you're a bit worried that they're still going to come back to you, again, detach yourself from the emotional body and deal with the facts and the figures. Very logical, very matter of fact. Those are the things that are going to serve you at this time. Thank you. Knight of Swords. Oh, very nice. Oh, that's the Six of Wands there. So I feel like this plodding away methodically, just doing bit by bit, not taking on too many big projects just yet, because I feel like something is going to come anyway. I feel again like it's really, really important you just get your things together. What's that? There's a kind of a type of expression or definition of luck, which is preparedness meets opportunity. So this is really a month for you to sort of close things off and start to get everything, get organized basically. Make sure you've done your decluttering at home. Make sure all your paperwork is in order and filed. Make sure that you're eating regularly, you're eating healthily, you're making sure that you're going out for walks or exercises, anything like that. Keep things basically a bit boring this month, because I feel like when you do the boring stuff and just kind of make sure that ground foundation is sort of set, that's when things are going to start happening for you. And I feel like with that, it's you're rising above. Okay, that is the thing that's going to rise you above, because he's sort of setting off on a new adventure. He's returned from war, nice and victorious. Everyone's cheering him on, and he now has the ability to move forward. He's risen above, and the only way to do that, I feel, for you, is to just kind of take care of the small stuff, and the big stuff will fall into place. Page of Wands, please. Very nice. 10 of Pentacles. So, Page of Wands. This is in your environment factor. So there is going to be some sort of message coming through to you. So this might even be news about an opportunity that you can embark on, or something that where you will be able to take the lead in this, or this is an invitation for a work thing or a relocation, anything like that. It feels like either it's coming from within the family, or it is something that is going to really set you up financially, or at least for the long term. You're going to receive a lot of long-term security from this. Okay, so it is very exciting. It is affecting the family. It is affected by the family and how you manage the home front and your sense of security. But I would say it's really exciting, and I mean, you're very excited about doing it. So that's a good one. To move from the 5 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles, I mean, really, that's amazing. So you're still dealing with the residue of the lack mentality and the lack of funds, or the lack of worth, the lack of recognition, as for the majority. But then as we move through July, this comes in, and I would say it is very promising for you. Right, Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands, please. Okay, we'll take you. Thank you. Knight of Wands, healing, lovely. So Knight of Wands, so now you're in a position where you're wanting, this is where it feels like it's both that you're wanting to sort of now get up and go and make it happen, because you feel like this boring energy of getting all your faculties in straight and in order, or your affairs in order, has been kind of a bit boring, and now you want to sort of jump the gun, and now you want to jump forward with excitedly. Trouble is, I think that there's still a little bit of healing that needs to occur from this situation over here. So this, where something ended and you saw the light out of the fact that something had come to an end, and the worry and the anxiety that you've had to endure with regards to this as well, you still need to go through a little bit. You need a bit of a holiday, basically. So you either need a holiday. This card, the 4 of Swords, is often a healing card, but sometimes it can also refer to having the opportunity to take time out. Okay, and so I feel like part of you is like, well, I want to jump forward into this new adventure, but I also know that I need to rest. I need to sort of gather myself, because I'm still feeling a little bit weakened from this whole situation over here. So that's why it's sort of both fears and dreams. I think that it's manageable to achieve both, because I do feel like connected as a combined message. It feels like this jumping forward and going excitedly towards this opportunity that's going to give you a boost, okay, and give you that sense of freedom within the security of it. I think that's the thing that's actually going to be healing for you. Okay, so I would say that even if you feel like you're running on empty and you're kind of a bit slow, I would go for it, because I feel like it's going to reverberate new energy within you, particularly because we've got that Empress card there. So you really are still harnessing that Empress energy. And the 6 of Swords, can we clarify, please? Thank you. The Hanged Man. There we go. All right. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I did my own reading the other day. I'm a Taurus as well, and it also said all this weird stuff, quite similar actually. Well, I don't know, I really need to think about it, but I had the sort of Hangman Patience card in the immediate future as well. So things are going to move a bit slower, but I think now's the time, as you move a little bit slow, I would say, even though this is really exciting and definitely go for it. I would say don't jump the gun, because you're only now in a space of getting a bit more clearer in your mind. Things are a bit calmer. You don't have any major catastrophes that you're having to deal with. So I would say when you get on the boat to get onto that calmer water, make sure you don't paddle too fast, okay? Take time, see things from all angles, because you will receive enlightenment from that. And I feel like it is advisable to sort of go slow and steady, okay? Just like the Knight of Coins, but in just allow yourself that kind of mental breather to do so, because that mental breather is going to actually invoke a sense of enlightenment on this whole situation over here and where you want to move forward. So we'll end the reading off with an oracle card, just some advice from Spirit or anything you need to know for July. Okay. We have Priestess. How are you being called up? How are you being called to step up and lead? Well, I mean, really, that's the King of Wands right over there. So you are being called with that Page of Wands over the month of July, and you may not feel ready for it, but it doesn't mean you have to go fires or guns blazing. You can get excited about it, but then take it on a gentle way. So the Priestess is, you are learning all of this stuff because you've got a lot of wisdom to share with others, firstly. But secondly, you will be slowly but surely stepping into more of a leadership role. I don't know whether that's just going to be spiritual for you, or whether it's going to be kind of quite literal, or it's going to be to do with this opportunity. But you are being called now, and you wouldn't be called unless you were ready. Okay, so that's all I have for you, Taurus. I wish you all the best for July, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.